Hey guys, welcome to Persona 5 The Phantom X. So we have here a pre-launch tier list courtesy of pridewin.gg. I know I'll be creating my own tier list eventually once I get my hands on the game tomorrow. So in any tier list, especially if it's pre-launch, take it with a grain of salt. Treat it as kind of your starter, the one thing that pushes you through the understanding on who is good, who is bad, who is great, and who is worse. Okay, so let's start with their disclaimer. So the character tier list does not convey synergies well. So definitely it won't convey any synergies. It will be more on the individual strengths of the character. Information gets lost in aggregations where representing a character's power level is an aggregate of their performance across different game modes. So I'm gonna simplify this. This is like the average performance. Also, going back to the first point, characters, even though if they're low in the tier list, they might have a good or better synergy with another character that raises their value. So again, take this with a grain of salt. Tier lists are not an end-all reference, which is correct. They are just a gauge on how powerful the character is, but not necessarily on all content, not necessarily within a specific team. Again, the character will be gauged as powerful they are or as not powerful they are based on their kit, based on their effects, abilities, and skills. So the coverage for the tier list is, as I've said, they're an aggregate. So story, event boss, Velvet Trials, Astrolabe Trials, and other trivial content. We could probably do a tier list wherein you have a tier list for each of these contents, but that would take time. I know, that would take time. Bossing tier list and character performance of the following content: Trials of the Sea Souls and Nightmares Guild. Okay, so categories and criteria for the tier list is your DPS, your sustain, your support, and your navigator. So sustain are going to be, again, characters that keeps your team alive. Support is focused on dealing damage and amplifying them, and buffs and debuffs. Navigator is more on providing buffs and debuffs at any point on a field character's turn. Backline support. Okay, and DPS is self-explanatory, which is damage per second or DPS. So criteria for the tier list is they should be played on manual play using optimal team composition, support characters upgrade to level 80, skill upgrade to level 10, and all of this stuff. I won't be going through all of this. I'll have to give it to you to try to check this out. Anyway, I'll be putting a link in the description for this tier list so that you could check this out separately. Role criteria, again, we have DPS, sustain, support, navigator, and bossing, DPS, sustain, support, navigator. For the ratings, okay, the ratings are, we start with tier 0, tier 0.5, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. That is a lot. But anyway, let's start with tier 5. So outdated characters that have massively underperform in their role. I think both tier 4 and tier 5 can be mixed at this point. Playable characters that can be used if you like them. Yeah, if you like them, but if they don't perform well, why use them? Okay, if they just keep you stuck in most of the content, why actually use them? That's my point. So decent characters that are held back by big flaws. Tier 2 is strong characters with some flaws. Tier 1 strong and versatile characters with minimal flaws. Tier 0.5 is these characters perform well, really well, and perform close to the best characters. So tier 0 are clearly the best characters in the game. Okay? So they do have a lot of categories here. Global, general global. We're gonna be going over general global and general and bossing global. We're not going to go over CN's tier list because we won't have these characters for a while. So we'll start off with general global. For general content, I would suggest, guys, that you get Joker in the limited banner. Aside from the standard banner pulls that I mentioned in the reroll guide, this guy is going to help you clear out mobs. I'm going to be doing a dedicated video on him after this one. So Joker, definitely you have to get in the limited banner. It's gonna take time for him to go down because we're still starting in global. So I think a must pull at this point for that limited banner. We have Seiji Shiratori. So again, this is a 4-star character. We have Lufel, another 4-star character. By the way, there is an AO here. AO is awareness 0, so no copies, no dupes. A6 is 6 dupes. So obviously your 4-stars are going to have you're going to have an easier time farming for them. Next is going to be Yao Ling Li, which is I think available in the standard banner if I'm not mistaken. So, and Mio Sahara. The 4-stars here are going to be a gem that you guys will enjoy early game because the 4-stars are easy to farm, easy to get in banners, and also easy to get dupes up. So that is your tier 0 up to Miyu Sahara. So Antamaki is going to be your tier 0.5. Together with Morgana, we have Leo Kamiyama and Kayo Tumiyama as well. That is your tier 0.5. What I would suggest is this is for general, story, general content. What I would suggest is you try to aim for, if you're re-rolling in this game, try to aim for the tier 0s in the tier 0.5. If you don't have any choice, try to go to tier 1 at least. Don't go to tier 2 if you are re-rolling. So for tier 1, we have Ryuji, Sakamoto, Shun Kano, Haruna, Nishimori, and the rest will follow. So as expected, they don't have a tier 5 and 4 at this point. They're only at tier 4. So for your bossing global, there are characters here who went up. Most of them are 4-star, which is actually very lucky for us because this is a pre-launch tier list. This is gonna be good because again, we do have 4-stars here that we can get. We have Kayo, we have Leo, we have Shun, we have Joker here, Ren, Mia, and Ryuji actually went up from tier 1, so he's a safe investment. And Takamaki, Lufel, Haruna, I think in the other tier list is at, where is Haruna? Haruna is on tier 1. So for bossing, she actually goes up. Yao Ling goes down for bossing. Miyu Sahara is actually, she also went down for bossing. I think Kayo went up, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. They basically swap positions. So Seiji went down for bossing from tier 0 to tier 1. And again, guys, aim for the tier 1 characters up when you're using. This is just a guide on who more or less to concentrate on. So that is how we treat the first tier list of the launch or before the launch. Who you're gonna get, up to where are you gonna be concentrating on the tier list, because again, this is a good, this will just point you in the right direction. This is again a not an end all be all, suggestion of these characters are the best, these characters are it. Eventually, there are going to be changes in the tier list, as you can see here in CM. There is a lot of change here. So please make sure that you also try to reference CN, because most of based on experience, most of the characters that go out initially will be power crept, and most of them will go down. So as you can see, An goes down. You have Joker here who also goes down. So again, it will take time. We will go to that where CN is right now. So as of the moment, guys, feel free to go over the tier list. After this video, I'll be doing a feature on Joker, And that would be a fun video. Guys, comment down in the comment section what do you think of this tier list. And by the way, again, I'm gonna be creating my own tier list as we go along in global. Thank you guys for staying this far. Take care, stay safe. This is the Warden, and I'm out of here.